good afternoon, and welcome to another exciting edition of T-Limbs Presents The Bridge. I'd like to send a shout out to our gurus, Reggie and Ron, that makes this possible. Yeah. Give them some love. Give them some love. We got a dynamic guest today that you guys are going to love. She's been here before. And you know something, we liked her so much that we brought her back just for you. Hey, where my mirror at?
Uh-oh.
Y'all don't messed up. They don't messed up my mirror, y'all. So God, no, it's for you. You. I have to do it like this now. You know what I mean?
Up there.
But anyway, hey panel. Oh, oops. Sorry, y'all. It was me. But anyway, thank you,
You turned the right way.
Oh.
Me.
Anyway, hey y'all, how y'all doing?
Hey,
You're doing very well.
Teresa, in case
Very
y'all
good.
don't know, y'all should know these names by now. If you don't, write them down. You know something? Matter of fact, call in. As a matter of fact, put it in the comment. As a matter of fact, be involved.
Yes.
Teresa, Twyla, y'all know my little brother, Jermaine. Okay. Now, having said that, I want to send a shout out to the 330. Akron, baby. I'm repping Akron today. You know what I mean? So I want you to say hello to Akron. And I got to throw up a gang sign.
Oh, look, and this is the first time in 12 years LeBron is not in the playoffs.
Oh,
Hey, we're not
wow.
going to talk about
We're
that.
still with you, LeBron. We
We
love
love
you,
you.
man. You know what I mean? You do so
But
much
you got to have a team.
on and off the court. So
Yeah.
again, it's not you, it's them. As in a lot of stuff, it's not us, it's them.
Yeah.
Some of it is us. But
Yes.
anyway, I got to throw up my gang sign for the 330.
We are
I- Okay, bear with me, would you? This is my gang sign.
What?
Those that know that,
Do that again.
That was like an itsy bitty spider.
okay. So y'all don't get y'all, we ain't promote no gang stuff, but this is a
That wasn't
church.
gang, that was
Church
the
is
itsy
This
bitty
is a
spider.
steeple.
Oh, okay.
Open the
I know, I
door,
seen
and
that.
here's all the people. So you can join this gang. But anyway,
I knew it was a nursery. I saw your hand.
right?
I said, itsy
Y'all
bitty
see, you know
spider, but I
something?
remember
You're
that.
getting old. So you get
I said, did he really do that?
right. But anyway, I just wanted to let y'all know. I want to throw that in there. I got a question, and this is a editorial. First, let me shake y'all up, man. Come on, y'all. Come on. Stop this madness. Yeah. But anyway. Okay, stop this madness. You know something now? We are the only group that's seen that can't get it together. Okay?
Who's we?
Black people.
Okay. Just making it
Okay, you can put whatever adjective that you want to call yourselves, but black people. You know something? Everybody else seemed to have some type of organization. You know what I mean? And I'm not advocating none of this. I'm just using this as an example. But you know something like the mafia, when they was all against each other, what did they do? They organized. So now, for today's editorial, I'm going to show you how easy it is to organize. It's just as easy as, y'all know these, y'all that's out there. Ooh, y'all don't seen this before. But anyway, I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is to organize and what will become of that organization. You know what I mean? So now, with each added group, wow, I got a rope. And so now I'm adding one more to the rope. You see what I'm saying? So now, as an organization, I'm building an organization. You know what I mean? And so now, through this organization, look what I have. A rope. Now with this rope, I can reach back into the hole and pull somebody else out.
Yes, I like
To add
that.
to
I
the
like
next level
Wow.
for time. But y'all get the idea,
Yeah.
right? So again, if we can unite,
Good,
Okay,
good.
that's good.
That's good.
if we can unite,
Okay.
we will become whole. But anyway, that's my editorial. And so now, having said that, you know,
Can I add to that? Because it's funny you say that.
Sure.
Speak up. I posted a status just recently on Instagram, right? And you just happened to talk about this. Let me read this real quick. And I actually took the time to type it up in my notes before post because it meant something to me. But this was the caption. In order for the results to change, so must the process. I get that we are all different in every sense of the word, but also alike at the same time in the sense we are all born to die. We must be clear in the process of what it really is we want and or are living for on a daily basis, or else division occurs, and we are only as strong as the sum of our parts in the end. So we have inner conflict of opinions in reference to current events, and I think current events are just that, events, but there's a bigger underlying problem that we clearly would rather not discuss because it's uncomfortable and creates sacrificial accountability. But the truth is, we won't get better discussing current events while ignoring daily realities and inner demons. No plant crops without a seed first planted. That's my thoughts.
Very good. Okay. Yeah. I'll give you some pub on that one. But you know something, Jermaine, that just shows, you know something, that shows the collective mindset when you're on something positive. Now, we don't hobnob during the week, so this is this man's thought process, you know what I mean? And thus, you know, my little process or whatnot. But you know, we're both going in the same direction. Now, let me show you something else. Come on, y'all. Hook it up. We are family. But anyway, all
You know, I
y'all.
was thinking of Red Rover.
What is Red Rover?
You know the game, Red Rover. That someone's going to come over, and they run through and they try to break.
We've never played that.
We did play
it. You know, she's from a different neighborhood.
No.
Red Rover. Who the hell played Red? Oh, see.
Ask folks in Akron. Everybody know about
Red Rover. Red Rover. What?
To let Sean come over, whatever you call it. Whatever you want to call it.
What's the object of the game?
You too.
To run through the chain. And if you don't break the chain, then you have to join this team. It's to deplete the opposite side. It's like, come
It's
on
called
now.
Red Rover.
We used to play it on Dover. I used to play it with Kirky and them. Never mind.
Okay, see, that's a different group because they didn't hang out with our group.
They were too cool.
Well, Sean, I really love what you did with the United Piece, and I also want you to mention what you talk about the crabs in the barrel. I love that quote.
Yes,
I think you need to patent that quote or whatever you can do to keep it alive. A copyrighted, sorry, but it's just I really
But you know
love
what?
it.
What Therese is referring to is that, you know, we were talking on one of our shows, and I said something about, you know, something. Everybody knows about the crab mentality, and that mentality has been associated with us.
Yeah.
You know, the crab tried to get out the barrel, and another crab would pull him down. But see, if the crab build, then another crab get on top of him, and another crab get on top of him, and then eventually, you know, you build that ladder or line on the way out. Then they all get out the barrel.
Yeah.
So.
And that's what the bridge is about. And I
Well,
think
and
moving
again-
forward, we want, and we've all discussed coming up with some basic pieces. And I love what you introduced, that we can talk about current events, but there should be a basic foundation of things like not killing each other, that we should all be able to be united on
You can just
those
start with
issues,
just respect,
and
treat
then
people the
just
way you
keep
want to be
moving.
treated. Yeah,
Yes.
really
That's going to tie into my walk to walk this evening. Oh yeah.
So again, like I said, you know, I use the mafia just because I didn't have anything else better, but y'all kind of know about that. But again, you know something, we seem to be the only group that's not united. And
Yet.
Yet.
I'm speaking everything into
Yet.
the positive.
Yes,
Yet.
exactly. We don't speak
We're
no
gonna get
negativity.
there.
So again, y'all understand what we need to do as a whole, what we need to do together.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And again, it takes you. I've already shook y'all up. You know, so what will it take to wake y'all up? Come on, man. We are not your enemy. Golly, stop it.
How about this? Let's talk about some unity for today.
Okay.
This is the 10th of March, and this is the National Women and Girls HIV/AIDS Day. The Native American, Indian, and Alaskan Indian, and the Hawaiian, Polynesian AIDS Day is HIV Day, or honoring or recognition is 20 March, so we're just 10 days away from that. I was very surprised when I was looking at some statistics and things. First of all, remember when Magic Johnson made that incredible announcement
Yes, I remember.
about he was retiring at the prime of his game, at the top of his game, and then first he was out with the flu, but the flu that he had was unrelated to anything else. And then a couple weeks later, he comes back and he finds out that he's HIV positive. Now, this is a man who currently had just got married, and his wife was carrying a child, and then he announced his retirement. He came back and he played one of them All-Star games. What was it? The Dream. I was the Olympics Dream Team, but there was
Was
some
the first one or second?
there were some players that
Didn't want to
didn't want to play with him,
Right.
and there was some discrepancies there. And he went on and did his total retirement, and everyone was like speculating, well, how could he have contracted HIV? Because up at that time, it was just considered a Caucasian man, Caucasian
Homosexual.
man disease, right? So it didn't impact us in our community. We kind of had a different look at it when it was Arthur Ashe.
Yeah.
Because Arthur Ashe had been having heart problems, and he had surgery, and then he had that transfusion, and the blood was tainted, and then we watched him become frail before our very eyes.
Yes.
And we were angered when we saw him getting locked up for protesting apartheid. But Arthur Ashe was a silent giant.
Yes.
Very silent and very courageous man. I had the pleasure of working with his brother in the Marine Corps, Johnny, who is equally a little more outspoken, because Johnny was this little cut from a different way. But he could play tennis too, but he wasn't going to let you buffalo him. He was a captain. That's a whole different story. But we had a different kind of feeling for it. So when Magic came up positive, the first thing was, oh, I wonder who he slept with. Oh, he's an undercover. He's a download. It was just all this hysteria.
I remember.
Because we had all these stereotypes because we didn't have enough information. And for black people, that was the first time it really, really impacted us in a way, because you might have known about Arthur Ashe kind of, sort of, depending on what era you were born, or we saw how he went through the humility with Jimmy Connors and the whole racism in tennis. But Magic Johnson, everybody on the globe knew Magic Johnson. We watched Magic Johnson and Larry Bird have these epic duels.
Right.
Lakers and
And
Boston
Classic.
they
Celtics.
brought back basketball,
Yes.
because basketball
Yeah.
at that time was just kind of like had leveled off.
But at the
Yeah.
time when he came out with that announcement, it was also the peak. Well, not the peak, but when basketball was really transitioning to mainstream. Because MJ was crossing over into superstardom.
Yeah.
The Like Mike commercials, the Gatorade commercials. So it was right within that time. The USA, the Olympic stuff with McDonald's and so forth.
When they
So
allowed their
all that was
professionals
in that
start playing.
same exact time frame when he announced that, and then the whole players not wanting to play with him thing after that.
Right.
But yeah.
But you know something, let me touch on that too, Jermaine. What we've been saying too is like we've got these people, and y'all know who y'all are. Get there out of the way if you're not going to help the kumbayas that's still in the positions that won't let the young folks or teach the information that they have. They won't share it and teach. But that was like what you were saying, the passing of the torch.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so you
disconnect,
could,
so to speak.
exactly, which took us to the next era of basketball. So now imagine if the kumbayas can't play a lick of basketball, but imagine if the kumbayas would have taught and moved. You know what I mean? And so where we would be now.
Right.
Well, the thing about it is that we didn't have enough information, and we didn't know. And even today, when you talk to people on the street, sometimes they still act like they don't know. And we're in an age of information where there's so much out there, and you can get any type of knowledge of anything.
Right.
So today, if you don't know, it's because you're intentionally, willfully being ignorant, and you want to stay into this particular stigma. That's why I'm so honored to have Miriam here today, because it takes a lot of courage.
Yes.
First of all, so Miriam, you got to give her.
Yeah. Miriam, hold on. I need to do one more thing before we bring you on, because we're gonna give her the floor. We're gonna give her everything, and like I said,
Right after this break, we'll be right back.
Wait.
After this break, we'll be right back. You got it. See.
Everyone has a story to tell, and I know you do too. But you don't know where or how to start? Imagination Press will help you. Write, edit, and publish your book on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Lulu.com, Ingram, as well as helping you reach markets across the globe. Call us today on 301-379-2709 for a free one-on-one consultation, or visit our website and send us an email, imaginationpressonline.com. Again, that's imaginationpressonline.com. Imagination Press is your complete guide to publishing, branding, and promotions. Give us a call today.
Welcome back, and now Sean can finish his thought.
Hi. No, I just want to send a shout out to Francis. I want to send a shout out to Francis. Francis, we didn't forget about you. You know, like I said, we got a good, a
And
dynamic.
Marvin.
And Marvin.
Marvin is here from Ghana right now.
Oh, and Marvin, yeah. Okay, I didn't get a chance to meet you, Marvin. Oh, anyway, we want your comments. We want your opinions. Please call us, contact us at 240-719-2560. Francis, what's happening, bruh?
Jacob and Anthony,
Sorry.
what's up?
Exactly. Teresa, Twyla, Jermaine, I'm done.
Okay. If you go to womenshealth.gov, the Department of Health and Human Services, there were all kinds of information on there that was just distressing for me. To know that in the year 2017, 1 out of 5 persons that were diagnosed HIV positive were women.
Wow.
1 out of 5. And that over 235,000 have been diagnosed.
Wow. Wow.
And that doesn't count for who hasn't been diagnosed yet. Without further delay, we are going to present to some and introduce to others Miriam.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you
Welcome.
very much. How are you today?
We're doing
good.
very
We're
well.
good.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad to see you. I'm glad to be here celebrating National Women and Girls HIV Awareness Day. It's to bring awareness to HIV and AIDS. People still think it's not important. I still deal with stigma. People still don't understand that this disease, it's running rampant. They think it's calmed down, and it hasn't. And they didn't expect us to be here that long. So I'm letting people know that now seniors are becoming the new citizens of HIV and AIDS. So I'm letting you know that we're still here. They probably didn't expect us to live this long, but by God's grace, we're still here.
Amen.
I found out that I was HIV positive in 2000. I had a sinus infection that lasted too long, and I went to an ENT doctor, and he suggested that I take an HIV test, and I was totally thrown off because, why would I be HIV positive? I had gotten married in 1997, and here it was 2000, three years later. And so I went and took the test, and I found out that I was positive. I immediately called my husband thinking, it's over. This man is going to leave me. It's over. It's gone. I'm going to die. I mean, because I didn't understand about the disease. I didn't understand about the disease also. So I found out that he took the test too, and he was negative. And he said, I love you, and I'm going to keep you here as long as I can. Our vows say in sickness and in health. And I was like, that just took a load off of me, because people don't think that you can have a relationship and be HIV positive. We're called a serodiscordant couple. He's negative and I'm positive, and I love him. This year will be 22 years in June.
All right.
That we've been married.
Good. Praise God.
I have 3 kids, 4 grandchildren. I'm an author, a poet. I'm trying to tell you, there is life after diagnosis.
Very good.
You said that you all were called a particular type of couple. What was that couple you said you were called?
Serodiscordant.
Serodiscordant. Can you?
Well, when they said it, I thought I had something else. But it's when one person in the relationship is HIV negative and the other one is HIV positive. So that it's called a serodiscordant couple.
So I know that when Magic Johnson received his diagnosis, he found out too that he was positive, but his wife was negative, Cookie was negative, and that the baby was not infected either. So the child, she carried the baby full term, and that was an unexpected thing too, because it was thought that she was going to have to have an early delivery. So they were both protected and covered, and she even attests today that every test that he has for the past, I don't know how many years, and it keeps coming out that the virus is not shown in his body, in his life. But I noticed that they said that there's a pre-ep pill that they give to the partner who's negative or something like that.
It's called PrEP.
PrEP, okay.
Yes, and it's a pill, Truvada, and if you're in, you have to be HIV negative in order to take the pill. And if you're at risk for catching HIV, you take this pill, and it, hinders the HIV from getting into your system.
Miriam, I understand that, and see, I'm a non-chemical freak. I mean, I don't trust man to whereas the stuff they tell you to put in your body to fix this, to fix that, to fix that. So I kind of do it naturally, and part of that is my faith. And tell our audience how much faith plays a factor, a big factor, in where you are today in your life dealing with this.
Well, my mother, I can attest to my mother. She said, either you're going to have faith and take the medicine, or you're going to have faith and don't take the medicine. I choose to take the medicine because I thoroughly believe that God has given people gifts on this earth to help us. Just as he provides rain as a resource for the flowers to grow and the grass to grow, he provides people with different gifts to give us, to help us. We can't, no man is an island. So, he's given the psychiatrist and the psychologist gifts of listening skills. It takes a lot to sit there and listen to someone. So I do believe that, technology and the pills and the medicine aren't as harsh as they were at first. At first, I think it was AZT, and it really wasn't doing well with the black community. And I know the first pills I took was called Stigma, and Stigma had me hallucinating horribly. It was making me really, really sick, and my husband said I was, moving my hands in the middle of the night, and like I was walking around, and so I really it was really bad for my system. But the pill that I take now, doesn't have, it's not so harsh on the body. I still have to, keep my kidneys, tested, and my vitamin D, and keep taking my medicine at the same time. Medical adherence is very important, and eating well, and I'm going to be here for a while.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Let me clarify, because I don't want people to get the misunderstanding, like I said, yes, first and foremost, put your trust in God.
Yes.
But something, don't stop taking your medicine.
Right.
Because Sean said, Sean ain't said nothing. So anyway.
Don't try to see Sean.
Exactly. All you're going to get is this mirror. But anyway.
Well, Miriam,
Yes.
I'd like for you to talk about your journey once you found out that you were diagnosed, because the one thing that I know about you is that you're a phenomenal poet.
Yes,
I mean, I'm
yes.
not one who used to even like poetry that much until I heard you recite a few pieces. But I want you to first tell us where we can find your poetry and your books, and talk a little bit about your journey as a poet.
Oh, excuse me, Miriam. Before you get started, You gonna break us off a little something, right? I know you brought, Miriam. I know you brought something.
No, she came empty-handed.
Well, I got a poem for you.
I got it.
I know. See, no, you don't want to hear mine, so I'll try to hear yours.
No, he's a busy spine.
So tell us where to
That
find
was
your
one of my-
books.
Well, my website is www.miriamwbrice.com, and this book right here, it's called "And I Don't Surrender to Stigma and Judgments." It's an acronym for AIDS, and I don't surrender. And you can find it on Barnes and Nobles, Lulu, and Amazon. And I also wrote a children's book called "My Grandma is HIV Positive." And I wrote that because I have a granddaughter, and one day, I gave her a journal to write in. And one day, we always discuss what she writes down. And I picked up the journal, and I saw that she said, she had written in the journal, "My tummy hurts, but I'm not going to stay home. I'm going to go to school because I don't want to make my grandma sicker." And I was like, oh,
Wow. How about that? Talking about inspiration.
wow. And, the Lord was like, write that. And that's what I did. I wrote a story about it. So it's about a grandmother, talking to her granddaughter about HIV and AIDS, because you have to let children know. Because they're coming up,
right.
and you don't want to hide
right.
anything from them.
That's right.
You have to
That's
talk
right.
to your children, even talk to your grandchildren
right.
about, living with this disease or this chronic illness. And not only do I live with that, I live, ever since, 2000, I've been diagnosed with fibromyalgia, HPV. One day I slipped my wrist. I'm trying to tell you that God's a keeper. I've had 14 surgeries, but as Maya Angelou says, still I rise.
Okay.
Because there's
all
life
right.
after any diagnosis.
Okay.
And when I found out that I was HIV positive, I did go into a slump because I didn't understand what the disease was doing to my body. And they told me I had to have had it for about 5 years because of the process and what it was doing to my body. So I went to this program, and this woman, she said, girl, get about yourself and live.
I like that.
She said, come on, take this course with me. So I took a course with the Red Cross to be an HIV instructor and teacher. And I started learning about myself, and I, got myself together. And I said, I'm an advocate. I didn't want people to be treating anybody any kind of way, because I've dealt with stigma. And it's a sad thing when you have to deal with stigma after the disease has been out for 30 years, even in the medical profession. So, I didn't get it from my family. My family and my friends are great support systems. So, you find your niche, and you work with it, and you just live, because that's what you have to do, live. It's just another diagnosis. There's life after a heart attack. There's life after fibromyalgia. There's life after diabetes. There's life after HIV.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
That's good, Miriam.
Okay.
That is really, really good.
It is. First of all, you have to pick up this book. And I don't surrender to judgments and stigmas. You have to pick this book up. It's an easy read. I mean, do it in a day, because you can't set it down. It's a page turner for sure. It's a page turner. Some of the places in it was just, oh my gosh. When she said, I'm going to read this quote, she said, you said, when they called me by my name, I had given them a chill down my back. The counselor looked sorrowful as I heard the words, "You are HIV positive." What? I mumbled. I wonder how I had to live.
Wow.
I wonder how I had to live. Then the woman said, your CD4 count is almost near AIDS. We caught it in time.
God is good.
Please
God
take
is
this to
magnificent.
that part.
Yeah.
When you said, I wonder how I had to live, please speak to someone out there about what it means when you determine in your mind that you have to live. Like, now there was no other
I'm going to
option.
live.
Yes.
There's no other option out there. You can live this thing.
Yes.
You can be successful. Write that book. You don't know how to start. Start with a table of contents and write it and put it in different sections and write out that book. Start journaling. I know some people still hide and because they're scared of stigma. But you know what? Jesus faced much more than we could ever go through. So I encourage you to live. Please live, and there is hope. And when you can, you know, I have an email. It's called system, SYSTEM .MWB at gmail.com. And system means share your story to empower many, because that's what I believe you should do.
Yeah.
You share your story. I was driving down the street and I saw this big, huge tree, and it was, you know, flourishing with all these leaves, and the roots were on top of the ground. And I heard the Spirit said, look at the roots are exposed. What if we walked around with our roots exposed?
Wow.
What if you knew that what I was going through was right there on my chest?
Wow.
And you could say, wow, she's going through that. I can do it. If she can do it, I can do it. And I wrote it, and that's why I started the book with Roots Exposed.
Very good.
I noticed that you also talked about when you got your diagnosis, how you had started having this, you wrote this book called The Gifted Words, Poems and Promise of Poets, and how you were apprehensive to let the audience know that when you were doing your book signing that you were HIV positive.
Yes.
What was that like? I know as a writer, we tend to expose ourselves through our writing, even when we're not writing about ourselves, even when we're not writing a poem that we've personally experienced or a story. But some part of us is exposed in every word on the page. So to have that kind of vulnerability when you put it in print, but then have to have this cloak at the same time, the contradiction of the two, what was going through your mind as you were signing your name and autographing these books?
Well, I had just told my children, because I didn't want them worried about me and going through, you know, certain things. I wanted them to concentrate on their education. And then I said to myself, you know what? Let me get up out of this closet. You know.
Wow.
So it was like I was in a closet, and I decided I wasn't living in this closet. I wanted to get out of the closet and live. And so I stepped out of the proverbial HIV closet, and I sat up there, and I told everyone I'm HIV positive. Some greeted me with love, some were a little standoffish. My husband was sitting right there just smiling, you know.
Wow.
It was a beautiful day. I thought that like 20 people were going to show up. Almost 100 people showed up.
Well, I was one of the people in attendance, and what you don't know about when you shared your story is that I've been a lot of places where the anointing, what I call the anointing falls. I can still remember the anointing falling during that book signing, and it was palatable. It was like unbelievable. The Spirit of God just filled the room. And so what it did is if it touched my life, I'm sure it touched others' lives. And I think that's the critical piece with sharing your story, is that when we start to get away from ourselves and being so self-conscious about ourselves, we're open ourselves up to help many. And that's what you're doing now, which I think is phenomenal, Miriam.
And it's funny you should mention that, Teresa. Now, Miriam, you represent the strength in one.
I like that. I like
she
that.
She represents the strength in one.
Yes.
Imagine matter of fact, collectively at that book signing, the strength that was gathered, you know, that unified strength.
Yes.
Wow. You know, so keep on repping, baby.
Well, Miriam, can you speak a little bit about getting tested and that process, and talk about what the incidence is, as you know it here in this area?
Well, when I got tested, it took like 2 weeks for the results to come back. The test today, you get your results back in minutes. So get tested. Know where you stand. It's not a life. It's not a death sentence. I encourage everyone to go ahead and get tested, because there are about 6,000 people walking around unaware that they're carrying this disease.
That's tough.
So I encourage you to get tested. It's going through our brothers and sisters. Women are becoming, the high statistics of black women are becoming infected. And like I said, the seniors are living. And Jermaine said something earlier about current events. And I was thinking about how people always say, well, I'm going to pray for you. Well, at this point, I need you to get up off your knees.
We're about to get started.
Yeah. You know something? Now, again, where you were saying that it's affecting the seniors.
Oh, wow.
So it's spilled over into the seniors community.
Yes.
Well, according to the
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Because I need to put this out there.
Put it out.
Y'all need to leave that Viagra alone or cover up or something, man. Y'all old folks. But anyway.
Yes, HIV is 100% preventable. You know, children aren't the only thing that come from unprotected sex.
Exactly.
right.
Come on now.
STDs,
That's
right.
HIV,
That's right.
That's good.
AIDS, you know,
That's
so
good.
cover it up. Abstinence.
Yeah.
Is
Then
the best.
You ate.
Abstinence.
You know
And
something like
that's not
what's the
being
dude from
promoted.
New England up there trying to buy some?
Oh, Robert
Robert
Kraft.
Kraft.
Right. See. Okay, that could be you. You better get tested.
That's true, though.
Yeah,
I'm serious.
a
I
woman
mean, that's
found
a
out
public
a woman
announcement
found out
for.
at 59 that she was HIV positive.
Yeah.
So it's not just, you know, young people. You know, I know it's kind of hard to say, but when I talk to college students, I say, are you asking your grandma, are you wearing a condom? Because, you know, we have body parts that still work, you know.
Okay.
Youngins.
Okay.
But anyway.
Getting a little too deep for me. A little too deep for me.
You all keep making me sit next to him one of these days.
Getting a
One of
little too
these
deep.
days. Oh, yes, it's coming.
But you know something? No. Just like Miriam said, you know something. We have the mentality, people, and that's from all ages, that it can't happen to me
That's
until it
Yes.
happens
Right,
to me.
That's
right,
true.
right.
You know,
That's
like
true.
you were
Right.
saying, I think it was last week, we were talking about Emmett Till's mother. Because the stuff that was going on
yeah,
in
that
the
was the
South.
point. Yeah.
You know, excuse me, she didn't think, well, I ain't got nothing to do with me. Turned out it was her son.
Yeah.
Now, can you imagine that? Wow. Now, what if she had gotten involved?
Right.
What I would like to say and stress is that when we hear a person gets the diagnosis of HIV, and then if it develops any further, which we don't proclaim that at all, do not look at that person like, what did they do wrong? What did they do in life? Because here's the thing. It could sit dormant in your body for years.
Yes.
So people think you might get tested and it's negative today.
Yeah.
But you could come 4, 5, 7. In fact, I was talking to a medical doctor, and he said 10 years. So think about every encounter, every relationship, every interaction you have for 10 years. That person might be gone physically, but that person's
Yes.
still not gone.
Wow.
So when we look at this, it could have been a committed relationship, which we find out for most black women
Yes.
who are being found diagnosed with HIV. Women that are in their 50s plus have been with the same partner for 12 to 14 years. So I have to also commend your husband, because he took that vow so seriously, and the
Yes.
fact that he gives you such love and such care.
Right.
That's manhood right
Yes,
there.
yes.
That's
I'ma send this out to your
manhood
husband.
right there.
You know, I'm going to send that out to your husband.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Bryce. Last name is Bryce.
Okay,
Right.
Mr. Bryce.
Yeah.
You know.
We always see so
Kudos
much
to you.
negative stuff about our black men in
Right.
the media.
Exactly.
And black men being torn down by black women
Yes.
in
Right.
the media.
Right.
Yes.
Okay? Now, we've had some problems within ourselves, among ourselves, yes,
Yes.
but what I would like for us to do is to keep our business our business.
Right.
And somehow now it's just gone on Front Street.
Right.
But I was watching the evolving of Magic Urban, or Urban Magic Johnson. And New Year's Eve, he preached at his church. He gave a sermon. So he's in the ministerial world now, because he said God had been tugging, pulling him. Cookie had always been saying that it was her faith in God that kept her with him.
Yes.
When he said that he had gotten tested and he told her they had a prenup, and he told her, you can leave me and I'll tear this prenup up, you can have everything.
Wow.
Because he felt like he had ruined her life and ruined everything. And she refused to leave him. She refused. She said, no, I'm not going anywhere. So one day what he did was he on national broadcast TV, it was on our Arsenio Hall show. I remember because I was in the Marine Corps. I was watching this thing like, oh man. He tore up that prenup. Oh no, I was out. But it was Arsenio Hall's show. Okay, so he tore it up, and he said that we don't need this because she's with me, and no matter what, you know, we're going through this together. So he said it was her faith in God that delivered him and brought him to his own walk and his spiritual awareness. And so he's been drawn into in the ministry. So what he talked about, and he still talks about, he said, and that particular night, he said, all I want to do now is to surround myself around godly men. And I want to be a mentor and a beacon of light. You know, I want to be there to help other godly men. And so he was talking about his steps being ordered. And so he said that there are so many things in life that you have to do. He said that he had to put together a team. He said, I've been blessed to be the president of an organization. And in order to put a team together, I had to take some players and move them to the side and, you know, switch out. He said, and that's what you have to do sometimes in your life. You have to take some people and move them out of your way. And
in this moment,
It's called dead weight.
having a moment of things come together in my head. So what was the phrase you used? You said you had the moment.
Oh, what
that
oh, it was an anointed. The anointed. It was very anointed. Session.
Anointing.
Anointing,
Let's
yeah.
Stick with that for a second. Anointing. She spoke about how after the fact she was motivated. Think about if we had that fear of death every day. That would lead us to finding purpose. Because she found her purpose.
Yes, he did.
Through her diagnosis. And in a lot of ways, like she's talking about with Magic. It's not over. It's not the end. You get diagnosed with cancer. It's not the end. It's the beginning, because that's the moment you realize, you know what, I am mortal. This could end any day now. But we should really wake up every day and think like that anyway.
Yes, that's a good point. That's a good point.
And we tend to take that for granted. We're all going to leave here. Nobody's going to live forever. So at that point, what are we doing in between? And I think I spoke about that on the
that's a
previous
very
show.
good point. Do you
Mary,
want to
break something off for us, Mary?
Yeah.
can't take it any longer. Any longer.
The Creator created a creature to take part in an omnipotent plan, an essence covered in clay, a soul covered in man, reaching down from heaven to create life from dirt by molding and manipulating the ground and the earth, the bones, the blood vessels, the organs, and skin. A soul covered by dirt. What kind of shape are you in? Insignificant particles formed into flesh, watched over and taken care of. He knows what's best. The first noun is the plot. The location is temporary. The destination is holy, eternal, sanctuary. Imagine soil, worthy of a crown. No dirt in heaven. Only souls are heaven bound. So while encased in his image, wrapped in love, surrounded by grace and blessed from above, keep in mind the inside, the soul that lives within. Oh, and by the way, what kind of shape are you in?
All right. We're a little clapper hand to it.
God is good.
Ooh, God is good.
God is good.
Miriam, you want to?
I was going to talk about sometimes where I face some stigma. I went to, every 6 months I go get my blood drawn to find, to make sure the pills are working and everything is going on with, great with my body, because I'm undetectable. And they have a program called U equals U. And if you're undetectable, you cannot spread HIV to another person, being undetectable. And the woman, the phlebotomist, she looked at my paperwork she started huffing and puffing and throwing her paperwork down and, just pacing the floor because, I realized I had on long sleeves because I'm trying to figure out why is she tripping? This is in my mind because, my eyebrows up and I'm like, and I said, oh, okay. I have long sleeves on. She sees my paperwork. She's assuming that I got HIV through needles.
Right.
And she's going to have to work, which is really what her job is, to find a vein. So I pulled up my sleeves. My veins are gorgeous. And I said to her, I got, infected from unprotected sex. And you know what she said? You know what, thank you. I really need to hear that. And I wanted to tell her some other things like you need to go get tested. But, sometimes silence is golden, and just suppose if I had just started ramping and raging, she probably wouldn't have received me saying,
that's a good point.
How, I got HIV because you can get it through needles, unprotected sex, blood transference. But you know what? You can't get it. They're very careful these days. So if you give blood, don't be afraid to give blood. You're not going to get HIV, or AIDS through blood. And you know what? I'm an organ donor.
Okay.
Because these days they're letting people that are HIV positive be organ donors.
You know what?
Thank you for that
That's-
education.
Yeah, that's
God,
good.
man.
Thank you, Miriam.
You know,
That is something.
Let's bring the. I'm sorry, not to cut you off.
No, you didn't cut me.
Connected one more time. So
Let's hear what you're saying.
what she said and what you said earlier in terms of
The-
your time
okay.
what she's referring to in terms of the nurse and what the nurse said. At the end of the day, it really is just this simple. Going back to that, treat people the way you want to be treated. Because
Yes, the golden rule.
that's what that's all she did.
Yeah.
She could have responded in 100 different ways, but it was simple. You know what? Let me just tell, even though she didn't even have to tell her,
Right.
because that's her job to do whatever it is.
Exactly.
Yes.
Do your job.
Yes.
That's horrific.
Yeah.
That's horrific.
But you know,
Treat
no,
people
no,
the way we
no,
wanna be
Jermaine.
treated. And
Even,
the
even
world would
through
be better
that,
if we
she's
just take-
educated.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Now she could have been funky and did the neck thing. I'm gonna try it. How y'all do it?
I'm gonna steal your thing for a second. At the end of the day, when people got this way, people gotta do better. I need to do better.
Right.
What I do daily, I can control how I treat people.
Yes.
Therefore, what you reap what you sow.
True.
Yep.
True.
There was another instance. I got shingles, and I went back to my doctor that I had first, and I said, when I got shingles, why didn't you test me for HIV? He said, because you didn't look like you had anything.
Wow.
And people are still going by a
How you
look.
look.
You know that movie Philadelphia was a very powerful movie,
Yes.
but you saw the wasting and the sores and the lesions on his face. So people, that stuck in a lot of people's mind. I'm beautiful.
Yes,
Yes,
you
you
are.
Do not look like what I've been through.
Yes. God's
And I'm
protected
being
you.
held together by nothing but the grace of God.
Amen.
Yes, indeed.
And I'm
All
here
right.
to tell people, please
Yes.
get tested
Yes.
and treat people like Jermaine said, the way you want to be treated.
Yes.
I walked
Yes.
into an office and I gave this woman my paperwork, and she saw my diagnosis on it, and I watched her pass it to all the other receptionists in there, and they were laughing and giggling, and they made me sit in that office for over an hour and a half. They never called my name. And I didn't say much, but I got up and I stared at her like, I really wanted to grab her. And I held my peace. And then the doctor tried to, candy coat, but I just never went back there, anymore. I'm not saying any names, but I've heard people with horror stories say they go to their family functions and the table is set nice and there's a paper plate, styrofoam cup, and plasticware, and that's where they're supposed to sit. So I encourage you to get educated.
But
And
we're worried
treat
about R.
people,
Kelly.
treat people right. Love is a very powerful thing.
Yes.
Oh,
it
yes.
is. Yes.
So
it is.
love on people.
Yes.
Give someone a
yes.
hug.
Yes.
Yes.
Stop thinking that you can't catch it from hugging someone.
Yes.
You can't catch it from sweat. You know, you can't catch it from a kissing. Not unless you just biting the tongues and you know,
I don't know what kind of kiss that is.
right, someone. You know.
Well, what you can catch is ignorance.
Yes.
Yeah, very good. Well
That's
put.
good.
Right.
That's good. I like that.
Right.
So,
Yes.
Miriam, you want to
Yes.
let us know one more time where to pick up your book?
Yes, My Grandma is HIV Positive is available on Lulu.com, and I Don't Surrender to Stigma and Judgments. That's available at Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, and Lulu.com also. I really thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for coming.
You did a great job. Very good.
Appreciate that.
Very
Yes,
good.
Miriam
yes,
is also was the spokesperson for HIV Stops with me in Maryland. So Miriam is available for speaking engagements.
Yes.
Magic Johnson, we're coming your way.
Yes.
Canopy and
Hit me
Akron,
up.
Ohio, we're coming your way.
Yes.
She needs
Yep.
to be out here to your community
Yes.
real soon.
Yes.
So contact Miriam. If you can't get through to her, go to Connect to the Bridge. Check us
Yes.
out on Instagram. Check us out on Facebook. Check us out on Connect to the Bridge. Go on YouTube. Put in their comments. I need Miriam.
Yes.
I need Miriam.
Yes.
We'll hook you up and get her.
Thank you,
again,
Miriam.
Thank you once again,
job.
man.
Thank you very
Yes,
much.
we
So much
appreciate it.
courage, so much
Yeah.
courage, so much
Yeah.
courage. If you
Yeah.
are scared and you don't want everybody to know that you want to be tested, go to gettested.cdc.gov. That's gettested.charlie.delta.charlie.gov. They will give you the location where you can go. And we have some more announcements, and then we'll do some house cleaning. Teresa, you want to tell us?
Yeah, I want to start with the Women Veterans Network. And so they've got an 8-week program which is exploring the transitions, balance, connections, and more. It's led by women veterans. So please come out. If you want more information, please check out www.woven, WOVEN, Women Vets, VETS.org. And the phone number is 877-44 WOVEN, Woven.
Thank you so much. And I know that you got something else there. What else is going on?
Well, this is so exciting because we can't wait to get to Africa. We're just chomping at the bit.
Yeah.
But they have a 14th annual At Home in Africa Forum. What does it look like to return back to the motherland from diaspora? So Baba Lumumba is and Dr. Egwin are both having an event. It's Friday, March 15th.
Yes.
For more information, it's from 7 to 10 p.m. and it's at the Umoja House. And so we want you guys to be there. For more information, call 202-526-4039. So please join us. I'm going to give that number again because this is critical. This Friday, March 15th, 7 to 10 p.m. and the number is 202-526-4039.
Yes.
Also on that note, admission is free. So come on out.
Yes, yes.
And Dr. Kalichi is going to be with us at the end of the month because he is the director of appeal. He's the director of appeal.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
What you got here, nephew?
The Restore Life Suicide Prevention Workshop with Kevin Hines, who survived the jump off the Golden Gate Bridge. March 18th, 2019, from 12 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. At the VA Medical Center, 50 Irvin Street Northwest, Washington, D.C., 20422, 4th floor auditorium, Freedom Auditorium. You can call Patricia Craig at 321-537-0229 or email at dc.vamc.vmhc@gmail.com.
Real quick about this gentleman. He jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge
That's interesting.
trying to commit suicide. And halfway down, he realized, oops, I made a mistake.
Wow. Halfway down.
Halfway down. But he landed and he lived.
Isn't that something?
And what he's trying to do is advocate. And even to this day, there aren't any barriers on the Golden Gate Bridge. He's trying to get them. This is an awareness program to get people to galvanize the community out there so that they can put barriers so other people can't jump off the bridge to kill themselves.
Wow.
Why does
That's
it
really
take
bad.
such
Right.
extreme things? I just don't know.
Well,
Go on.
let me jump in right quick. Before you get to those extremes, and you don't try everything else, try God. He's
But
I
you
mean,
people-
you know,
but hold on, that's the whole
here
different
you
story.
go fall
That's a
and
different
like
story.
you're halfway, you don't jump.
That's a different story.
And you say-
because you can't try with who you don't know.
What you say? Well, that's true too.
Okay. All right.
Well, get to know him. Golly, he's out there for you.
Mental health is a real thing.
Yeah,
Mental
right,
health?
Right. You're
Talk
right.
to somebody, see somebody, pray something, but it is real. I get it. We have the Lifting Our Voice Homeless Veterans Roundtable discussion. Hope Veterans Services at 2918 Minnesota Avenue, Southeast, Washington, D.C., 20019. You can give them a call at 202-848-3700. Again, this is the Lifting Our Voice Homeless Veterans Roundtable discussion on March 26, 2019, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Got to get them off the streets. Got to get them off the streets. One more announcement.
These ain't real glasses, y'all. So
Cosmetic.
I can't see that mess, man.
Cosmetic,
Yeah.
right?
Okay. Wait. Okay.
Never mind. We're on the clock.
All right. Yeah.
Appeals Black
Wind it up.
Saturdays Co-op. Every month on the first and third Saturday over at the Emotion House, which is located at 2015 Bunker Hill Road, Northeast in Washington, D.C. You can get all kinds of products that are owned by blacks, that have their black-owned products, black-owned vendors right there at Emotion House. It's always on the first and third Saturday. In fact, the event this coming Saturday, or this Friday, is going to be at the same location. That's 2015 Bunker Hill Road, Northeast, Washington, D.C. That is sponsored by Appeal. That's www.ap as in Paul, P as in Paul, EALINC.org. Now we're going to do walk the walk and we're going to get up out of here. Next week, our show is going to be, we're going to talk about Bill Cosby and all things black men in the media. We're going to have a piece called Thank You, Bill Cosby.
Written by our own.
See,
she's being modest, but I'm gonna tell y'all, yeah, she's good too. But go ahead.
Oh boy, now that's hard to follow. A letter from black women in America. Please stay tuned. You don't want to miss it. But here's the other thing too. Black folks, be right to each other. If you got an issue with a black man, go to the black man directly. Don't go to the camera. Next week, same time. Ron, take us home.
Home.